Airbags, they're those soft pillowy things that elegantly unfurl in front of you to hopefully keep you smiling after a crash, right? Well, no. While Hollywood would sometimes love you to believe that an airbag is a dainty device that moves slower than some of their well-worn scripts, the reality is that they erupt at about 300 kilometres an hour in a gun-like explosion, all designed to put a tiny bit of air between you and whatever part of the car it is you're about to hit. They're a crucial last line of defence that can potentially save your life, like the difference between hitting your head on concrete and grass. That tiny bit of give can make a huge difference. While they were first toyed with in the 1970s, airbags didn't appear on a production car until the 1980s. But even then, it was only very exclusive luxury cars that few people could afford. These days, almost every car has at least one airbag, and most have 6 or more. Again, dispelling a Hollywood myth, airbags are designed to be used in conjunction with seatbelts, not instead of them. That's why you sometimes see the SRS badges around the car. They stand for Supplemental Restraint System. That's also why airbags don't always go off. In the milliseconds a car's computer has to determine how severe a crash is, it'll work out whether to deploy the airbags or just leave it to the seatbelts. So you can end up with a car with quite a bit of visual damage, but the airbags didn't go off. But if the occupants weren't injured, then there's a fair chance the car did the right thing by not deploying those airbags. That's because they can be expensive to replace, but also because they can cause injuries, albeit minor ones. Since the mainstream take-up of airbags, the incidence of minor injuries like broken noses or cuts has actually increased. But major injuries like brain damage or fatalities has dropped significantly, so they're doing their job. The most common are frontal airbags, which are basically designed to protect your head and torso in a typical frontal impact. Once the car has triggered the airbags, it sets off a chemical reaction which sees the mesh explode out of its casing. Even then, it's only inflated for a second or two, so timing is everything. More recently, some cars have added knee airbags to protect your legs, but in some cases it's because the dash is too hard or there's some structure there that can injure you, so they're not always necessary. Side airbags come in 2 main forms. The regular ones should protect your thorax if the car hits an object like a tree or if another vehicle hits yours. Then there are curtain airbags which, as the name suggests, act like a curtain that drops down to protect your head in a side crash. If anything, it's these curtain airbags that are the most important. It's your head that's the most vulnerable part of your body, and the side of the car is where you've got the least amount of protection between you and whatever hits you. So anything to soften that blow could potentially save your life. Which brings me to the number of airbags. Now, some cars boast of 10 or more, but at that point, it's really about marketing. What you should really be concerned about is the coverage and protection those airbags are offering. If the side curtain airbags are split in 2, for example, then there are 4 of them, but they're offering no more coverage than if you had 2 full-length curtains. And with curtain airbags, make sure they cover anywhere there are seats. Some cars, for example, don't include them in the rear seats, while many people movers and SUVs don't spread them all the way down the 3 rows of occupants. So there's your beginner's guide to airbags. Hopefully you'll never need or experience one, but at least we're all safer in the knowledge that they've saved many lives and will continue to save many more.